This is the download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, Monday, March 9th. For our top story, long-form creators eye taking over TVs and chasing bigger brand budgets. Digiday looks at the landscape of platforms looking to bring long-form content creator videos, content that's at least 20 minutes long, from YouTube into the world of TV. Last week, growth platform Spotter held a pseudo upfront in New York with talent like Dude Perfect and Jordan Matter in attendance. Creators have built loyal audiences and strong engagement. The challenge is convincing brands to shift ad budgets accordingly. A gap between audience attention and ad spend similar to the one podcasting has had for years. Still, content creators continue on into TV. Audiochuck recently announced a division specifically for TV and film content, and Universal's UCP has secured the TV rights to adapt the podcast Wisecrack, with Tenderfoot TV attached as a producer. Next up, AI disclosure in podcasting, what it is, why it matters, and how to do it. RSS.com co-founder Alberto Betella reflects on a high school memory of a class in 1995 debating the utility of typing assignments using a word processor with spell check versus handwriting and referencing a physical document. Modern podcasting has a similar debate with generative AI tools, but with more nuance. Betella argues the problem is not AI, but opacity. To address this, RSS.com added an AI disclosure checkbox during episode upload that adds an AI disclaimer tag to the RSS feed. The feature uses the existing Podcasting 2.0 feature for metadata that does not yet have a dedicated tag. An interactive questionnaire has been launched at the site shouldidisclose.ai to help podcasters unsure of whether their work needs an AI disclosure label. If widely adopted, AI disclosure metadata could enable apps to filter AI-generated content or label podcasts, giving audiences more info before subscribing. Advertisers would also have more transparency, allowing more informed decisions about which podcasts they spend budgets with. Next up, radio station owner Cumulus Media files for bankruptcy to cut $600 million in debt. Reuters covers Cumulus Media filing for bankruptcy protection in Texas last week. A restructuring deal that, if approved, would eliminate approximately $592 million in company debt. The proposal would eliminate existing equity shares and transfer ownership to the company's lenders. A statement from CEO Mary Berner says the prepackaged process should cause no disruption to company operations, workforce, or strategies. Next up, how Netflix's push into podcasts looks on YouTube. Several weeks after Netflix launched its video podcasting section and moved several podcasts into exclusivity, Bloomberg's Ashley Carman examines how the exclusivity deals have affected their YouTube channels. According to anonymous sources, part of the Netflix exclusivity deal podcast signed, in addition to not posting their full episodes on YouTube anymore, is a limitation on how many clips a podcast can post on third-party platforms. The piece finds two sizable podcast YouTube presences, Spittin' Chicklets and 3 and Out with John Middlecoff, experienced a drop in new subscribers compared to January and February of 2025. Though there is not yet data on how show engagement traffic for the Netflix versions has turned out just yet, but Ashley Carman anticipates that in the next Netflix engagement report. And for our final top story, how true crime podcasters are asking listeners to help them solve cases. Variety looks at one of true crime podcasting's strongest tools, parasocial relationships with the audience. As Pave Studios founder Max Cutler says, true crime podcasts leverage the inherent intimacy of audio podcasting, building a relationship between the listener and the host. Though true crime initially seems brand unsafe, major brands now recognize that true crime's fandom extends beyond just books and TV. Now, larger companies are embracing that fandom, such as High and Die recently becoming a sponsor for long-running true crime series My Favorite Murder. As for the rest of the news, TMG Studios has signed creator Tanner DeVore and his podcast Tangent to their podcast slate. Yap Media and Story On Media are hosting a private podcast mixer on Sunday, March 15th at 9 p.m. CST at South by Southwest. Established podcasters and YouTubers interested in attending Mics Off, Vibes On, that's the name of the event, can request an invite with a link in today's newsletter. Stream Guys are gearing up to unveil enhancements to its ultra-low latency streaming, ULLS, tech during NAB Show 2026, set to take place in Vegas this April. After 3 years with the platform, Jay Shetty's iHeartMedia deal for his health and wellness podcast, On Purpose, is coming to an end. Nonprofit organization Understood.org has launched Everyone Gets a Juice Box, a podcast for parents of neurodivergent kids, hosted by journalist Jessica Shaw. And finally, the Grouse House Podcast Network, launched by Australian comedy troupe Auntie Donna, has signed to Acast, bringing the Auntie Donna podcast back to Acast after some time away. That'll do it for today's episode of The Download. Thank you so much for listening. And as a reminder, you can click the link in your show notes to go to the episode post on soundsprofitable.com for today and find links to every single thing I just talked about. You can also subscribe to get the newsletter version sent directly to you every day. Today's episode was co-written by myself and Emily Ely. Thank you, Emily. And is produced by myself, Tom Webster, and Brian Barletta. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis, and I'll see you tomorrow.